where it was crazy. But I'm really happy to see this is the size the classes were in California before I left. And I'm really happy to see aesthetics really taking off here. This is super exciting. And to see so many young people. In fact, I see more young people than older people in here. Because in California, a lot of people were going into it because they were older, because they were concerned about their skin. But here to see all the young people and is really, really, really awesome. Of course, you know, a lot of your clients are going to be older because it takes a little while for people to get into skin. I'm also really happy to not see that many spray tans and tan skin. So you guys are into the white, which is healthy skin, which is kind of nice. I can see some of you looking at me like, I still like my tans, and I understand that too. But it's going to be a fun day. I am going to do 3 different treatments for you guys to observe today. It's hard to teach a whole class in just the amount of time that we have here today, but I'm going to do a dermaplaning, and I teach the Dermaplane Pro certification class. I know you guys do some dermaplaning here as well. The certification class is a really, really popular class. Sometimes the techniques you've learned might be different than what I'm doing, but I do it the safest way possible. And a lot of people like that training where they know that it's going to be safe. Dermaplane Pro also has all their own products for the training, so we'll use those products. And then after that, I'm going to, instead of just doing micro needling, do you guys do that now? Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to do micro channeling. Does anybody know the difference?
Isn't it like manual stamping?
It is a manual stamp, but it's got a vibration unit on it. So the vibration actually hurts less and penetrates more. It's much more comfortable for the skin. And when I first was thinking about getting into this, I heard about, it was called dry needling. In 2000, I was at a permanent makeup convention. And I heard about dry needling because it was really good around the lips. And micro needling is one of the best ways for wrinkles around the lips. It's just a wonderful treatment that so many other things can't treat. With the micro needling, though, they started it by basically using Procel or permanent makeup devices that were actually a pen. And they kind of refashioned them from that, and they're kind of sliding across the skin as the needles are going up and down. So there's a really good chance to tear up the skin. Whereas with the stamping method that I do, it's microfilaments, they call them, which are super, super, super very thin needles. So are they regular needles? No, because all we have to do is create a micro injury. And so the downtime for Procel micro channeling is 90 minutes. The Procel for, I see some people that like that a lot better. We have things to do instead of hiding out for several days, right? So it's a 90-minute treatment. You're still creating the micro injuries. You're still, and then a lot of people use hyaluronic acid. We're actually using growth factor serum. So the growth factors has the cytokines, which the site is a cell. And so the cytokines are cells that actually are, I call them motivational cells, because they go in there and they get other cells to do things that they're supposed to be doing. And they also can kind of, stem cells can kind of change into whatever cells needed. But what they found out that's super exciting is they get the other cells doing what they're supposed to be doing at a younger age. So I'm super excited about that. I love the idea that we're doing no injury and we're creating more collagen without injury. Before this, all the ways we created collagen injured the skin. And we do injure it, but it's micro injury. Your skin doesn't know the difference. So it makes all this collagen because it knows there's an injury and there might need to be a scar formed, right? But guess what? It gets up to the skin, no scar is needed. So it just lays down this healthy layer of pristine collagen at the surface of the skin. Is that kind of exciting compared to what you guys have learned before? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then my third thing that I'm going to do is the LED light panel. I have a portable one that I like to do, and it's less expensive than the other ones, and it's very, very, very powerful. It's 1,800 lights. It costs $1,800. We can't discount it. That's the price we all have to charge for it, but it's a 5-minute treatment. You can spend an extra $200 to get it to where you can turn it down. I like to turn it down sometimes because if I have a mask on the skin, and I have clear masks that I use to infuse after micro channeling, I wanted to mask to stay on the skin a little bit longer. So I like the lights to stay on a little bit longer. I can just do the LED lights for 5 minutes and remove them and still let the masks sit a little bit too. But those are our most popular treatments. It's, well, I'll just tell you, micro needling which I call it microchanneling. I like it much better. I like to do no harm. And then dermaplaning, people still love it. I still love full face waxing as well. They're two different treatments and they actually can go hand in hand. I have some people that just switch off between the two of them too. And then, because when I'm doing when I'm doing dermaplaning, sometimes my words kind of flow together and I have to think about it for a little bit. Everybody gets excited about the hair being gone. What else am I doing when I'm taking a blade at a 45-degree angle? Exfoliating. Isn't that awesome? And if you can actually see the little cells, it's pretty cool because cells are microscopic. So if you're seeing a bunch of them stuck together, it's pretty exciting. What happens afterwards?
Cell turnover increases.
Cell turnover increases. Whatever you put in penetrates so much better. And I'm going to show you that firsthand today because the numbing solution is going to, my model, she's over there. The numbing solution is going to be pretty fast because I have dermaplane first. So there's another advantage to that. So this is going to be an exciting day, mostly hands-on. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
And then the LED lights at the end. I did a presentation on LED lights in Long Beach. I think it was a long time ago, you guys. And I had the guy that I was roping for at the time sit in the front row because I was afraid if there would be any questions. But if you ever want to learn about everything LED lights are doing, don't just Google because you're going to find people saying stuff because they want to. So when you want the real facts, you go to googlescholar.com and then you get the clinical studies on it. But it is very proven. I don't like to do any facial without doing lights at the end. That's how much I believe in it. And I have been that way for several years. So hydrofacial is still pretty popular, but honestly, I feel like I get a better facial result when I dermaplane and microneedle and LED light than even the hydrofacial. The hydrofacial machine is very, very expensive. If you can afford it, great, do it because it's going to set you up here with what you can charge for your prices. And every doctor is going to have one. And dermatologists, plastic surgeons, you know why? Because they can always charge more for everything than we can. Also, they know most estheticians can't afford one. So they're not worried about estheticians leaving and taking their clients. They like to have services that only that you guys can't afford, like laser hair removal and hydrofacial and things like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Pretty smart, huh? And the other thing, in talking about that, I do want to talk about something just really quickly. It's near and dear to my heart. I love people. I especially love estheticians because it's what I've done for a long time. I left my career working for the Federal Bureau of Prisons after 8.5 years, which you can retire in 20. I probably should have waited, but with full benefits. But I went into this because I love skincare. I'm passionate about skincare. I love that everybody else is getting interested in skin as well. But what I don't want us to turn into is competing with each other and I want us to uphold the standard like doctors do. They don't put somebody down. I want us all to be friends. I want us all to talk to each other, get help and referrals. And because here's the deal, there's only so many facials you can do in a day. My clients are never going to be a good client for you. Your clients probably aren't going to like me. That's just the way people are. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's just like, I think that we need to stick together and be friends and push everything forward and help each other out instead of talking bad about each other, especially because you usually don't have the whole story. Or if you're going to go work for somebody, don't work for them and then steal their clients. If you want to work for somebody, fine. Nowadays, when you go somewhere else, they're going to find you anyway through Facebook and everything else, but it's not really a good thing to do. So just have your goals set. And when you do leave, just know that you're going to not try to take clients. Some clients are going to normally follow you anyway, but try to make sure that you have a good game plan going. You also might find some estheticians that are getting tired and maybe want to sell their business, or they might want to turn it over to you in a different way. So, and usually by the time they've trained you, they would rather have you stay and do whatever it takes to have you stay rather than lose you anyway. If they're okay with losing you, that's probably not been the best situation. So just keep all of that in mind and try to be kind and understand the other person. Does that make sense to you guys? And if you want to ask me questions about that later on, please do, because I've been through this for a long time and I will tell you the best advice, but my best advice is to go out to eat with them, talk to them, see what they want and see what you want. They might be really guarded because they've been screwed over. And you don't want to be that person, and just don't ever do it. There's plenty of business out there for everybody. There's plenty of faces for everybody. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, very cool. Any questions about dermaplaning, microchanneling, or LED lights? If I do a treatment here, can you guys all see? This is super cool. Then do I get a chair?
Yeah, we can get you a chair. Would you like a,
Yeah, I
we
always,
have like a saddle stool if you like that.
one
or
on
just your
wheels would be
regular
perfect. When
We
I'm
have one
doing
that's kind of like a saddle, or we have just like a regular flat one. Does it
anything as
matter?
long as it's portable, probably
Okay.
flat.
Flat, okay.
Yeah, saddles kind of scare me, maybe, I don't know. So when I'm dermaplaning, I'm going all the way around the table. I'm checking from different angles and I'm making sure that I'm always dermaplaning it the safest way. So this is exciting. And I think there's some people out there that look a little familiar too.
Okay, I lied. The only one that rolls is the saddle, or
The
we can use
saddle
a
will
chair.
work.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right, I'm gonna pull your bed right in front of them.
Okay.
We're gonna put this on behind the bed so we can record it.
Oh, good, just in case, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That way they can actually see it. a lot closer.
I will tell you, during COVID, I was wearing a mask on every client. And I don't so much anymore, but so I'm gonna be on this side then, or that side? I'm
You're gonna be right here.
Okay. So will you be my hot towel person when I need one?
Yes.
Okay. You're closer, right? And younger.
So this is the frame that I
This
have
is so
now.
funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry, this is just hilarious. Am I sitting on it right? I am, aren't
You
I?
are.
Okay. Is this supposed to help you get better posture, I wonder?
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Do you like that?
I do.
Would you like your face to be in it? I could zoom out just a little and your face would be in it.
Actually, I think we're okay with this. I think that you guys, yeah, they've seen my face. Let's let them see.
We can
see
see it
your
in real
face.
life.
Yeah. Do you need my deco panel, or are you good with just my
I
face?
should be good with just that. Mhm.
Would you be, either, are you gonna share this video, make it available, or if not, would you be okay with us recording?
You know what?
Too.
It's kind of funny. Dermaplane Pro asked me to record one to send to them, so I'm gonna use this to send to them. We're gonna edit it up a little bit and we'll probably share it on our Facebook page. So then if you guys just want to go on there, that would be the best way to do it. Cool, huh? Okay, and then what we'll have you do is we'll have you come in here. I'm gonna trust you to put a mirror on your stomach and not break it. So
All
neither
right.
one of us have 7 years of bad luck. Here's a headband. I like to use the headband because it doesn't mess up the hair. A lot of older ladies, when I have them come in, if I use the towel, they're just kind of like, it's better with the headband. That's all I'm saying, right? Okay. So on the Dermaplane Pro, first thing we're gonna do, Dermaplane Pro doesn't have a cleanser yet. So we use our grapefruit cleanser. We make this out of our gel cleanser and we add toner to it. So when it comes out, it's already, I don't have to dip it in water. It's perfect consistency and already ready to go. You know how sometimes cleansers you have to put a little bit of water in? This one, I've already got toner in it, lathers up nice. It's a hydrating toner that we've used. So by the time that I put it on the skin, it is ready to go. Got the perfect model. She's not going to talk. I can already tell. But if you do want to say something, just raise your hand, okay? And no makeup. Love this model. Sometimes I feel like I spend 10 or 15 minutes just
Mhm.
getting the makeup off. And because she didn't have a lot on, there's no need to double cleanse. I can just do a single cleanse. She probably likes this part. When you had a massage today, was it your body or your face?
Face.
Ah,
Mhm.
your skin does feel really nice and plump.
Mhm.
I always like to pay attention to what I'm feeling. If you're using,
I do hear that a lot though.
yeah, you
Plump.
do. Yes, it's so nice.
It's the cheeks. I got big cheeks.
Ah. And I can still feel a difference after I dermaplane, even with the gloves on. I can still feel a difference after my mask, even with the gloves on. Okay, does somebody want to get me a hot towel?
You typically wear gloves with all your patients?
I have for years, yes. The only thing I changed during COVID is I wore a mask. And I still struggle with it a little bit. I don't really like masks, but I've gotten used to not breathing people's air and I kind of like that. You know, I wouldn't want my dentist breathing all over me. So I'm really challenging myself, but it's really hard for me to talk with a mask on. But I do like wearing masks for clients. I think that it sets us up to be more like a medical. And I think that with the things that we're doing, especially here in Missouri, we are so lucky. Not too hot, right? Okay, cool. In California, a lot of the estheticians have had to go back and go to permanent makeup school because so many of the things that we're allowed to do, they can't do there. And she's getting a little bit of joy. You have to be careful with putting essential oils directly on the skin. So, oh, she likes it. So I like to do it right on the towels. And then it always makes the towels smell good too in the laundry. So I like microfiber towels. I like them to be thin and soft. I know at a different school where I teach, they tell them that it's good to have the terry cloth because you're exfoliating at the same time, but I've got other things I can exfoliate with. I like the soft towels. That's just me personally. Of course, when you guys are out in your own business, you get to do everything however you want to. Okay. I'll leave that setting just for a minute and I'm going to get this will actually get pretty clean, so I really won't need this one. She's got the alcohol, that's for the micro needling later on. What I really am going to need is a little bit of oil. ProCell does have their own oil too. Nourish, we'll use theirs. Oh, that was interesting. Essential oils are very, very, very powerful, and that happened. We use them a lot, so we have an eye dropper on them because we mix products for people and everything. But that is what will happen to your essential oils with droppers. That's why they don't have this. They have the Euro dropper on them, and we sell them with the Euro dropper on them. But in our spa, we use the dropper because we use them like constantly. Pretty funny, huh? It swells up and it just eats through the rubber if you leave it on there long enough. You knew that, huh? Massage therapist, yes. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and then let me get the Nourish in one like this so we'll have it ready. And then we're not going to do that part this time. We're going to go in and go right into the numbing. Do we have the numbing out here? Well, let's get the numbing ready. And did we bring a little scissors to cut the numbing?
Sure did.
You did not? Do you guys have the scissors at all? The reason I like the scissors is the packets of the numbing, when you tear them, some of the black ink on the outside of the package comes off too. But if you cut them, it won't. Even though they're meant to be torn, I always cut them.
What type of numbing do you use?
I use from a company called Neuromed, and they have one that's called BLT, benzocaine, lidocaine, and tetracaine. If it was all put together, you would actually have to go to a pharmacist to get it. But we just mix it right in front of it. It's actually a chiropractor. Those will work perfect. Thank you. Oh, just take it and give them right back to you. No, I'm just getting it ready, just so I'm not touching as much stuff. She's so funny. She thought I was doing it right now.
I did too.
No, I'm just kind of getting it ready.
I'll take your trash too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That would be awesome. A lot of times when I'm doing a service, I get kind of everything out and ready, so I'm not having to touch the bottles. If you do touch the bottles, you just have to wipe them all down before the next client. Okay, so we cleansed and now we can tone a little bit, but really the cleanser came off really good. There's really not a big need to tone. Okay, the big thing is to oil or not oil. What do you guys think?
I always oil.
You like to oil? Well, when I first learned, we did not use oil. And so it's still a big debate on Facebook, whether to oil or not to oil. All I can tell you is that the oil is much more comfortable for the client. The other thing I can tell you is I like it because it keeps the dead skin cells and the hair in the oil, so it's cleaner and neater. And I always am going to vote for the cleanest, neatest way. I want my treatment room always to be spotless. I want every service I do to be clean and neat. So I oil. Now there's all different oils. Dermaplane has one called Nourish. We also have squalene, we have jojoba, we have desert dry skin oil, we have macadamia nut. So you can actually pick an oil appropriate for the skin type if you want to. But with Dermaplane Nourish, they use it all the time. and they don't get complaints on it. But if you do happen to have somebody that's allergic, there's always alternatives. But I do love the oil. I used to do half a face when it was first coming out and asked my client what they liked. Guess what always won? And you have to remember sometimes too, you want to make all your services comfortable for your client. That's why I always like to use numbing as well. And you can't tell by looking how sensitive somebody's going to be. And then we're gonna put all this back here. Say that again.
Did I understand right that you're gonna numb?
No, I was just getting it ready. I don't numb yet. No, what I just do on the dermaplaning is just the oil. I just usually have all my little cups ready to go, but it's always weird working in a different place. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to be wiping the hairs right on here. So how we start, and I have to put your head down just a little bit, is right in the middle. But before I start, yes, I need glasses so I can see really, really good. Oh no, what happened? I'm just kidding. Okay, so I start in the middle. Always go back first. And of course, if they did have waxing, I would do that before dermaplaning because I only dermaplane vellus hair, never terminal hair, right? Can you guys all see okay?
Mhm.
You can always talk to your client about how they want their hairline to be. I'm just following her natural hairline. Like that idea, don't you? And over here. So satisfying. Okay, and then we're going to start in the middle and go to the other side. And of course, when you're working on someone, usually you'll have some music going. I'm not used to all the quiet.
We aren't either.
Well, you guys are all paying attention then, aren't you?
We are.
But watching a facial after lunch is kind of hard, isn't it?
Not really.
Good.
Watching, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
it's
Is
rather
it satisfying?
relaxing, yeah. You're so smooth with it.
Yeah.
That would have taken me like 10 minutes just to do it.
I love dermaplaning. Sorry, guys, but I move a lot when I dermaplane. Can you put that out just a little bit more for me?
Like this direction.
Uh-huh. And I'm always pulling to the center of my body. Sorry about that.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm contouring the brow. You did just fine. You guys all still see? Yay. I'm gonna turn this way.
So was that in between the eyebrows that you were doing? A lateral?
Just a little bit, yeah. Just contouring the eyebrow, yeah. Okay, done with that. And then I'm going to do the top half of the nose. I think I got all that in there. Okay. Now I'm going to get right in front of the camera, so I'm going to move her out just a bit. Usually you always pull right to your center. you doing okay out there?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry about my saddle. There we go. Okay, that half is done. I'm not getting right in front of the camera, but normally I would be right here to pull to my center. I have more control if I'm pulling to my center. I'll come down this side.
Are you using?
Hear what she's saying in the back.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said normally I would pull to my center, but I don't want to be in the way of the camera right now.
Are you using pressure at all? Or are you just?
I'm letting the blade do most of the work. She said, mm-hmm.
It feels very light. I don't feel her pushing down on my skin at all.
Do we need to push down on the skin to dermaplane?
No.
I feel like I always do, and that makes it worse.
I think that
Well,
is-
that's
yeah.
why sometimes they can have things that don't happen until they get home later on that night and they're really red and irritated. Some people have had it done and they say they don't like it. They said they got breakouts, they have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, they're irritated. That could be why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're gonna come up. I'm gonna pull out a little bit from the ear. So cool. Now, sometimes when I have an older model or more sunken in here, I'll have them blow air into the side. Plump skin is so much easier to dermaplane. Okay, I'm gonna have you puff a little air for the next one.
And right now,
Here? Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, no matter how many times people watch videos, when they come to the hands-on dermaplane pro training, there's things to correct every time. Okay, and then go ahead and open your mouth here. I'm gonna do the corners of the mouth. We don't go over the mole, right? The beauty mark, you and Cindy Crawford. Okay, and then go ahead and hide your lower lip. That gives me a nice flat plane.
Is the Dermaplane Pro class just one day?
Yes,
Do you teach that class?
I do. You can either sign up through me or we can talk to them about having a program at your school.
Is that is here in Missouri, like you travel or you know that you're?
I have a training facility between Springfield and Nixa off of AA Highway. Do you guys know where that is by the go-karts? Yeah, that's where.
Fire station.
That's my neighbors, 24/7 firemen. That works.
Oh,
I was so happy when they, Kelsey, I heard Kelsey laugh. I was so happy when they came out there. It used to be pitch black when I first moved there. Does anyone else live out that way?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a pretty drive. I love the drive on Cox Road, Nicholas Road, over the creeks and everything. That's part of why I love it here. Okay.
I
and
come
open-
come to school.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Does too.
Except for when it floods or
Yeah.
icing.
I know 3 roads in Springfield. Kansas to Battlefield and Campbell. That's all I know.
Well, they're gonna take Kansas Expressway straight south. Did you guys know that?
Through that fancy neighborhood.
Yeah. They're not happy about that, are they?
That's all gated.
Okay, and then go ahead and close and put a little puff there.
They'll go around it, but it's their backyard. So
Well, they were gonna go straight down Nicholas Road, except they found a dinosaur cave.
A what?
Yeah. Well, they found a cave.
Drive is so depressing.
Your drive is depressing.
Well, I come from Branson.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
65.
I come from Arkansas. I drive the
Yeah,
you
you
the
too.
whole way and don't do anything.
It's like it.
Wow, you have some determined students here.
Yeah.
$10,000.
And we do have classes out there every month. Derma Plain Pro is going to be contacting the school to see about setting up a program here too, because they do have a school program too.
What's the price on the class if we took it through you?
You know what? This sounds ridiculously bad. I don't even know because you have to sign up by Derma Plain Pro anyway.
Okay.
They just tell me where to go and I do host it out at mine and they have special prices for students. They have special prices for schools. So you would just go to dermaplainpro.com and then go to Missouri, or you can email training@dermaplainpro. Yes, that was fun. That was really fun. Sorry, my nose is running when you're just bent over the whole time. Isn't that the worst thing about being a facial and doing that? Okay, so we did all of that. The next thing I do is I come down the nose. The second half of the nose. I'm so sorry. Let's see, how do I do this? Okay.
I can turn this way if it would.
Will that help you guys?
We just see that, we just see your hair.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so far away.
Right there is a little
There you go.
bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So you start at the top of the nose on the bridge and the sides and you move inferior.
And you're just doing the bottom half of the nose. You already did the top half of the nose. You already did the sides of the nose, right? Okay, and then now you hide your upper lip. Cool. And you push up here. A little bit of hair there.
What was your name again?
Kathleen? What's your name? Grace. Hi, Grace.
I knew they told us your name. I was trying to write down.
Yay.
Not so bad. I have to look in the magazine.
In the magazine.
I would have been smart.
Well, she found it first. So I did.
That was in that magazine article came out, no, September, I think, or when was it?
September of 2020.
2020 during COVID, you guys.
Oh my goodness.
And the guy that interviewed me for that article, they hired him to do it and they just hired him for that article only. His name was Elvis. Elvis, yep. And he asked me like 4 questions and then he trolled my Facebook or something. I don't know. Because they said I could write it and I didn't want to write it myself, you know? Because don't, okay, and I've got to contour the mouth. Sorry about that. So contouring the mouth. Contouring the lips. But anyway, the interesting part about the article was they wanted me to send them a picture of my childhood that would depict my childhood. Sorry, I gotta find my saddle again. And there was not Facebook or cell phones or any of that. So basically I was one of 8 kids and I had pictures of my school pictures and that was about it. And so they kept asking me for pictures because they wanted something different. And I was like, that's all I had. And then the lady that's the editor, she talked to her parents and she goes, yeah, we didn't have like all the pictures that you guys have nowadays, you know? Isn't that funny? Talk to your grandparents and they'll tell you the same thing. It's like there were school pictures and sports pictures and that's about it.
Picture like every 5 minutes.
Yeah, not every time you do something like now, huh?
I wish we could go back to some.
You know, I think we miss out on, I do think we miss out on parts of life by just trying to photograph it all instead of just living it, huh?
Looking through the lenses.
That was really cool. Can you guys see all that?
Yeah.
Very,
You
very,
can
very
see that
cool.
on the camera, on the TV.
Okay, and I'm just gonna do the little chin. The chin is kind of takes a little while. Now, the little gal that was gonna be my model, can you see why rubbing a blade across your face probably wouldn't be the best thing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then all the way down. And then I lift up to go underneath of the jawline. Okay. What do you guys think?
Awesome.
It's very smooth.
This better not be attached. Chins always give me a little problem.
Better not be a
Okay, and then
That was so funny.
I kind of fight with the hair sometimes.
What's your favorite type of like treatment-based facials?
To do?
Yeah.
I love doing I love the one I'm doing for you guys today. This is my favorite one. It's so satisfying and clients are so happy afterwards. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, extractions are kind of fun too. Laser hair removal is very boring. Anybody in here have to do, anybody familiar with laser hair removal? You just kind of point the light and just, but you don't see anything. You have to wait and wait and wait to see anything. I kind of like, I think I'm like most Americans, I like instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
This is pretty instant, right?
My dermaplaning is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And the skin just feels so incredibly soft afterwards, you know it?
Your makeup looks.
Oh, yeah. And that peach fuzz, when I was growing up, everybody wanted peaches and cream. They kind of wanted the peach fuzz hair. But that peach fuzz just keeps getting longer and longer and longer as people get older. Have you guys noticed that in older people? It's just so long. And then,
I have a client that said that she really didn't want to ever do dermaplaning again because she felt like when her hairs did grow, the vellus hairs did grow back in because of that sharp cut, that she noticed the feel of them more and she didn't care for that.
you know what?
Do you have anything?
Yes, I do. I would say give it a few times before you make your mind up, because I was a little bit like that the very first time too. And I think your hairs just kind of get trained to accept it a little bit more. And then we don't go over this because it's just, you don't want to put any pressure here. But what you can do is you can move the skin off of the side. And then I can still do it without actually being on that part. Does that make sense? But no, I would say try it a couple of times. But then again, what else can you do for her? Yes. Will she love that? Yes. Is it going to feel the same as dermaplaning? No, but it will last a little bit longer. And so sometimes you can get them to come in and rotate between waxing and dermaplaning. Oh, and on this one here, we'll go ahead and stick straight up in the air to get underneath of your chin. Good questions. Any more questions?
I have one about microneedling, but not there yet.
Oh, you have some on microneedling? I
no.
can answer those if you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the way you do it with like the microchanneling with the more manual like stamping, you said that your downtime is like 90 minutes. Do you feel like you get pretty or a little bit more instant results than with regular microneedling?
Absolutely. Now, I don't know about more instant. I think it's equally as good because what you're trying to do is create a micro injury to the skin, but we get micro injuries without causing damage. So I think it's like lots better.
Okay.
the end result, do you feel is pretty comparable or? do
I
you
think
feel
it's better because most of the other companies are just using hyaluronic acid. We're using stem cells that come from bone marrows that come from human volunteers. So we have a superior product to put in too.
So it's not so much about the technique, it's about the product you're using with your technique that provides the superior results.
Kind of both, because it's kind of like the person doesn't, when you have too much healing to do, it's not good. Like if you walk outside and it's cold out, a temporary cold is that gives you energy, but if you have to stay cold too long, it's dormant. You know what I mean? You freeze.
I love that.
So I think the temporary is better than the long-term inflammation. Inflammation leads to,
Sickness.
starts with an A. You'll hear that a lot later on when you get out in the field. Inflammation leads to aging. So a short inflammation is good, a long inflammation, not so much. In fact, and I was going to talk about this probably a little bit later on, but I just might as well go for it now. I said it a little bit right here. What was I going to say? Oh, vampire facial. You guys have heard of that, right? It's called PRP, platelet-rich plasma. And okay, now I'm getting happy. The thing about that is that, I'll come back over here and just, sometimes when I'm looking and seeing, I have to look from the different sides to see it. That's when they take your blood and they shake it out to get the platelets, but the platelets are highly inflammatory. So I really feel like what we do is even better than that.
Where do you get that type of serum from? Do you have to have a medical license for that?
No, ProCell sells it to us. They do have a medical one too. In Missouri, we can have either one that we want. The medical one just costs more and it has twice as much as the professional one. I have a lot of accounts here in town that are using the medical one because they have medical spas. They're owned by nurses. And the guy that started ProCell is a dermatologist. He just thought that, you know, he liked the idea of microneedling, but thought it could be done better than a roller or a pen. And if you want to do the body, okay, you are all done. Okay, so normally if I was going to finish the Dermaplane Pro treatment, I would use this gommage. It's called Nupil. And I would roll it all the way around the skin. Have you had that one before?
I used to work for a plastic surgeon. We did that.
Oh, yeah. And it feels really nice. But instead, we're going to go right into microchanneling. And I don't want to put anything that's going to come between the numbing. So what we're going to do next is the numbing. Got my two little,
You don't need to even like wipe off her face or anything before applying the numbing.
I think I got most of it off though, didn't I?
I mean, it looked really clean, but
Yeah.
with the growth factors, do you have to be a med spa to buy the medical
do
grade
not.
one?
Mm-mm.
What is that called?
This is our BLT numbing cream. I want to see how fast she numbs. And am I going to microneedle right over her lips? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The lips are good for telling me how fast she's metabolizing. I'll find out if she's a fast metabolizer or a slow one. A while back, people were selling this product and they were only selling half as much. It was a chiropractor that actually put this product together for us. So that's really awesome. It was a clever idea. And now he sells a lot of it. And he said, you really need this amount for the face. How come I didn't do it on the neck? Anybody know? Neck doesn't hurt on microneedling.
Really?
Yeah. But the
That
face
numbing cream take to numb.
actually, it's kind of funny because I'm an esthetician and I know how to massage and I know how to penetrate products. Usually by the time that I'm done massaging, she could already feel it because of the Dermaplane Pro. But by the time I'm massaging it in, she's numb and I'm ready to go. If for any chance somebody is slower, I would just go ahead and wait and do their neck while I'm waiting. But it's funny because a lot of other people that are teaching this, they're not necessarily estheticians. They're more nurses in the medical or sometimes just salespeople. They put plastic on it and they do this and they do that and they do all these things, but I can get it in pretty fast. You can already feel it on your lips, huh?
So is there, because we were taught with our microneedling class to not microneedle on the lips, is what's I guess what I'm asking is why can you do on the lips?
Because I'm not tearing through the skin. I'm just doing little
It's the
tiny
microfilaments.
injuries. Yep.
Okay.
Good question though. Yeah. And in fact, I want to put that human growth factor on there because everybody could use a little bit bigger lips because especially women that are getting older, your lips turn under. Gravity takes over and your lips turn under. And so I had little lips to start with. So then I was really in trouble. So,
Is that stuff from Procel just called human growth factor serum or?
we just call it our Procel treatment vial. Isn't that right, Kelsey? I call it just, we have a serum for home care. We have a #1 serum from Procel for home care and a #2. The #1 has all the water-based ingredients in it, including stem cells and the majority of the stem cells. And then the #2 has more of the oil-based products in there. So you kind of seal it in, because if you don't seal water in, what happens? Transepidermal water loss. You guys learned that one? There's the skin water loss.
Mhm.
So, and that's how Skin Blends, we've always had 2 moisturizers, a hydrating gel, and then a cream moisturizer or sunscreen. It's kind of like the more you know.
And so is the numbing serum, the BLT, is that from who?
Actually, Procel used to sell the numbing serum and they do not sell it anymore. So we sell it ourselves because I use it. I did a one
Is that Skin Blends or Derma?
at Skin Blends.
Skin
Yeah.
Blends, okay.
And because I even did my best friend and she's a retired nurse. Esty is her name. Isn't that weird? My best friend's real name, Estelle. Her name's Esty. But she said it was uncomfortable. And the thing is that I tend to not want to have I don't want to give them a reason to not come back. So I try to use the numbing. A lot of the microneedling people don't want you to use numbing now because they say that you can't see the reaction of the skin, and the skin reaction is slowed down. Because when we work at the trade show, like tomorrow, we're taking off for Vegas to do the Vegas show. And Kelsey and Carrie both will be doing treatments at the booth. But last week, Carrie, when you were practicing on Kelsey, how fast did she get pink?
Pretty fast.
Immediately.
Immediately. So you get to see the results of the lot faster when they're not. This is just a penetrating massage, not a fancy one, okay? So if you guys aren't impressed with my massage, I'm only trying to penetrate the product. That's it. But see how much of it's already penetrated?
Uh-huh.
Because it seemed like it had so much on there, didn't it? Now, how are you feeling as far as numbing goes?
My lips for sure.
The lips for sure. Anywhere else?
Yeah, I pretty much feel all over.
She feels numb all over. Why is she
I'm not
feeling
sure
numb
about
so fast?
Yeah, the forehead I feel like is not quite.
Okay,
but
we'll
Is
get
the
that into
dermaplane penetrating faster and the massage penetrating faster?
mostly the dermaplane, because without, a lot of times if I'm doing some without dermaplaning, I'll take the Procel device and I'll make some holes everywhere first to get the numbing in faster. But if I dermaplane first, I don't need to do that.
So I'm doing a microneedle after this class.
Yes.
We're trying
Oh, you're gonna do one?
dermaplane. Yep.
Oh, cool. Yeah, if you dermaplane them first, it's pretty awesome. And then where the microneedling typically hurts people, I'm saying typically because I have someone sitting on the side over here in the classroom that it literally tickles her when I do her forehead. Right, Carrie?
Yes, ma'am.
And most people it hurts, but she has to try not. It's like annoyingly tickling her.
It's annoying.
And so I'm like, I'm sorry. Usually I'm apologizing.
Vibration maybe?
She didn't know before, so
Yeah, we keep it dermaplaning. It has to get around.
Wow.
Microneedling and all.
Maybe the nerve response.
yeah. And then I'll have some people that literally, they would rather have a Brazilian wax than a brow wax. And the reason I'm telling you that is because we're a lot alike, but we can still have differences, and knowing your client's differences are important. Remember all that product, and why am I working on her forehead so much? The 2 places that hurt the most, forehead and above the lips. What do you guys use to microneedle here?
Haven't made it that far.
Oh,
For like hyaluronic acid or the numbing or sorry,
the tool.
Dr. Penn.
Oh, Dr. Penn.
What type of tool do you use?
You'll see in just a minute. I use the Procel device.
Oh,
And it's kind of crazy because you might not be able to see as much as she'll be able to feel. You have a question? thought I heard someone say I have a question. No, you like it? Good.
With the device that you have to have a medical license to purchase that?
There is a medical model.
Uh,
The only difference is between the medical and the pro model, we call it the esthetician model or the pro model. The esthetician model is silver. The pro model is, the pro model is silver. The esthetician pro model is silver. The medical model is black. Theirs has to be different, right? And it's $34.95 and ours is $29.95. Everything about ProCell is made in the United States except for the batteries. And the battery for the, yeah, you don't care, huh? Yeah. And the battery for the MD is made in Switzerland. Think about Swiss clocks. And so it's going to be more expensive. It has more revolutions per minute, but you'll see this one's plenty fast enough. I've been using the Pro one for many, many, many years and getting great results. I say put the extra money in your products instead of in a machine that nobody really knows what's different about it anyway. And the esthetician model, the Pro model is, the battery is made in Japan. That ProCell has a lifetime warranty. You guys hear that? Who else has a lifetime warranty besides nobody?
Nobody.
On your batteries and your charger, and they honor it. I've had to replace them for several people. They just honor it really easy, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I think she's about as numb as we can get her. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Go pretty good? Okay, now, when you're watching different YouTubes, because you might go and watch different YouTubes now, I'm gonna go ahead and get a towel, please.
Oh, here, I
Towel,
got you.
please. Oh, you got one for me? Okay, cool. I was getting used to having an assistant over there.
And I
It
think
doesn't
that's,
say quite, that's okay.
yeah. Did you, is that all you needed or do you need more?
One out of the
I
warmer.
think,
This is
yeah, we have, this is okay, guys.
Sick. I put Cruisers in the warmer.
Okay, cool. What was I saying right before that? Oh, the lifetime warranty,
Yeah.
the batteries, now the newest models,
People you said.
oh yeah. The newest models, they are, you can charge them with a car charger.
Wow.
Wow.
Instead of a USB, so they keep getting better and better and better, which is really exciting.
That's awesome.
So I have a question regarding the 90-minute downtime. So we've at my resort recently been discussing possibly adding a few services to our aesthetics program.
Mhm.
And the decision was to not do microneedling because Big Cedar is right at the lake. You just can't trust people on vacation. to
Which
not
one do
do
you work at? Do you work at,
Big Cedar.
Yeah.
Branson, yeah.
you know Tiffany?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, did she come and take the class from you or?
I don't think she has. I think
I
she
know she
might.
does
She,
too,
I
yeah.
just have known her for years.
Yeah, no, Tiffany's awesome.
Yeah, and but I do think that you could do both of these treatments down there real easy.
Well, my
because
question
people
is,
go-
with less downtime is would it be safe for them after that initial 90 minutes? If they were gonna go on the lake, say that afternoon, would that be safer? Would you need to tell
It's
them?
not the smartest thing to do,
No.
but there's a lot of people that go to Big Cedar that would rather have a facial than
Yeah.
go out on the
How
lake.
much downtime, for example, would you in that situation tell people, like, how
They
long before they go jump in the lake?
Well, the thing is like, say for example, if she went to a sauna tonight, she's just gonna sweat out everything I put in. So it's just kind of a little bit of common sense.
Yeah,
Could she wear a hat and go out and have fun? Yeah, but is it smart to go lay out right afterwards? No. So it's just kind of a little bit more common sense than anything. Okay, so some people, they take off okay, I don't see my serum, guys. My roller serum and my ProCell device.
Hyaluronic or stem cell.
How much do you love me?
Oh, a lot.
Tyler, we'll do the stem cell one.
So
The stem cell one,
much.
the
So
stem cell
much.
one costs $50. The hyaluronic acid they give me for free. They do not sell the hyaluronic acid. Everybody has it. Everybody's doing it, but the stem cell one isn't a hyaluronic acid base. Thank you, thank you. And the device?
Can you stand up and like stand closer so we can get like a better angle?
You okay with it?
Oh, I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
we're okay with it. Okay, so on this one, I just push this out. And this is my tip. If you ever get one of these and they're not sealed, you don't use it because we make sure everything is sealed. And it's all charged up, ready to go?
Yeah.
And do we have a glove for it?
I don't know if I have a large glove.
I don't have a large one, but we can make the other one work, okay?
Oh, this is a different looking device.
You need just a regular glove.
I wanted to stand and look at
We
it.
can get one.
Oh.
You wanna grab a regular glove for me?
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm worried about is I took all the numbing off at once because I work really, really, really fast. I divide the fascia into sections. I go here first and I'm gonna get ready to go. Well, you think we don't have a glove?
Carrie's probably.
Oh, good. Oh, here's one right here. It's a small, but I will make
Do
it
you,
work.
can I pull one
Yeah.
out for you? There you go.
Okay, so when I use the glove just to wrap the device, I was doing ProCell in the very beginning when the company first started. We didn't
Carrie
wrap
has a
our
large one.
devices. I think I can get it. Because the numbing, I don't want to wait too long. But in the very beginning, we weren't wrapping them, and now we have a whole bunch of permanent makeup people using ProCell as well. Because they know, thank you guys, sorry I didn't. Then all I do is I just tie the fingers off. In permanent makeup, sanitation, and we want to also, as esthetician, make sure that we are doing things as clean as we possibly can. So having that all wrapped beforehand was good. And actually, I should have done it in the very beginning. But we just walked in and I started talking, and it's not my normal setup.
So you do that every single time you use it?
Mhm.
If you didn't do that, would you just disinfect and sanitize?
Yes, yeah. But you just, for your client's comfort, there was an RN in El Paso, it's New Mexico somewhere. And she, oh yeah, you can see.
I was just curious.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna turn you this way and get my stem cell serum. I know you handed it to me, didn't you? Oh, here it is. So I'm gonna work fast because I took all the numbing off on, that's how come I'm kind of trying to work a little bit faster than normal, is because,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, there's some, just to give it a little bit of glide. And then, did you guys give me the 0.25 or the 0.5? 0.25. Cool. Okay, so then what I do is I can either do a triple tap, 1, 2, 3, and a 50% overlap. Or I can do a 90% overlap. And a single tap. How are you? Okay? Great. Not too bad?
No,
Does it feel similar to like microneedling?
no.
2.5 is that
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a 0.25. Hang on just a minute.
sorry.
You can see the needles in there?
Oh, yeah, 0.25.
Yep. And that way it's more accurate than a lot of the pens, because the pens will say, when they first taught us, they taught us the 1, 2, 3 taps. So sometimes I go back and forth between the two methods. You do a 90% overlap, but see how it's not ripping up the skin at all? But you see a little bit of pinkness? Usually 0.25 and 0.5 are good enough, because the exciting new news is you don't have to go super deep. A lot of times people were going super deep when microneedling first came out, and they were creating hyperpigmentation by poking the melanocytes. And the melanocytes are the cells that make melanin. And so I just make sure I do everything across and down.
So the depth is the same entire face with this? Just like the
Yeah.
cartridge, just one depth? Okay.
Mhm. But the needles are far apart. There's 25 needles in here. So they're going to go into the skin and better penetrate than if they're really close together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then now I'm going to have you put a little bit of air in.
So when you describe this to people, it's not microneedling at all. It's
We call it micro channeling. We call it microneedling evolved. A smarter way to do microneedling. Kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
And you know what? I always try to think about how, yeah, does it feel better if you puff? Yes. Okay, good. You guys, it feels a little bit better if she puffs. That's why I have her puff.
I think it's much better.
The only way that I can screw this up is if I don't lift up and I drag through the skin, which is what a lot of other machines do anyway. When they're rolling, they're going in at an angle, they're coming out at an angle. Sometimes they're cupping the skin, but isn't it better for the skin just to go straight up and down with little tiny microfilaments rather than needles?
So is this something that you specialize in at your spa, or do you do lots of different things?
Well, I mostly teach.
Okay.
I didn't even have a spa until I had a girl approach me. I can't remember what year it was, and she wanted me to go into business with her on a spa in Southern Springfield, and I was like, I don't know why people don't really understand what I do, but I'm pretty busy just doing what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I said, and then she said she didn't want to be out on her own. She wanted to still be an employee because there's comfort in being an employee. You get a paycheck. So, you know, like a lot of times people are always in a big hurry to have their own business. But in all honesty, if you don't have any clients, you don't have a business. If you're going to rent a space and they're not going to provide you clients, or you're not enough go-getter, you're really better off as an employee where somebody's going to give you clients. You okay?
So with this machine, do like other spas have this machine, or is this like just a few?
Oh, no, it's very, very popular. It's the busiest booth at the trade show by far.
Okay.
So as far as like treatments, for like scarring, things like that, like how many treatments of this do you recommend compared to like microneedling?
Well, you know, the thing that I always do is even on the ProCell pictures, I cover up the before picture and I have people look at the after picture. It's improvement. It's not perfection.
Mhm.
They're still there. They're just a lot improved.
Mhm.
How many sit-ups do you have to do to get a six-pack?
A lot.
12. See what I mean? It's really, really different. So I tell people to be really honest with people is we're going to see an improvement. I'm not going to promise them or guarantee them how much of an improvement because everybody's different.
How many
But she got a little,
classes do you do?
I usually do one each way. She got a little extra, but it won't hurt her.
Okay.
How does your skin feel where I've gone?
Our needle, no, we have.
Okay, she doesn't feel much right now, you guys. The reason why I do this first, I want to get to the forehead as soon as I can before the numbing wears off. When you're watching other people's YouTubes, they only take the numbing off a certain part of the face at a time. I can't do that because I go so fast, I'll forget to take the numbing off from somewhere else. And I put a little bit on before I start, so there's a little bit of a glide, but I really want most of it left over at the end so I can put it inside of the micro channels that I've created.
Can you go over the brows?
I do.
You don't go anywhere inside the orbital socket with those at all?
Right. I pull it down or I pull it up. And I go over the nose because there's studies showing that it makes the pores appear smaller if you're creating more collagen around them. You guys know the two things that grow your whole life?
Your nose and your ears.
Yeah. I always treat the nose now too. A lot of times the questions that I'm asking you is going to be about how the skin works and see if it makes sense to you. As you get out there, there's going to be a lot of people trying to sell you a lot of things, but learn as much as you can about the skin and think about, is that the way the skin really works? Right. And I think it's way better to under promise and over deliver. How are you doing? This is one of the most sensitive parts. You doing okay? Yeah, good job.
So do you normally like do with your like with clients, do you normally have them come in for like a series of treatments or just periodically, like quarterly, things like that?
You know what? I don't have a ton of clients, but the ones that I have, they just come in every month. So I have one that comes in every week, so don't you guys.
Oh, so you can.
Yes, I do. And she does micro needling every 2 weeks, and she does. Well, here's part of the thing too. As you get older, your skin cell slows down, and she's in her 70s.
Wow.
And she doesn't want plastic surgery, but she wants to look as good as she can for as long as she can. So 1 week she comes in and we do ProCell. I think she also just likes coming in for something to do. Maybe who cares? But she's lovely. She's a former teacher, and she's. I just really enjoy her a lot. I can, if she was squirming a lot or acting like this hurt a little bit, I would try to lighten up a little bit, but I'm giving her everything I've got because she's doing all right, right? You would tell me, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't really, yeah, oh, yeah, I would.
And then after I'm done with doing the 2 passes, what I will do is I will look at an area that I think that I might want to work more. She doesn't have any 11. She's a little bit on the boring side as far as I'm concerned.
I can have an 11 if I.
Oh, there we go. Okay, you just got the one.
And you'll see it when I think it's when I'm driving, I look like that. I have that face when I'm driving.
So we're getting her some extra collagen building up in here because she did that for me. And I see one little line here.
So with this gun, does it like have different speeds like a microneedle pen would, or?
Nope, there's just a slow speed and a fast speed, and slow hurts and you don't do it. We just do fast. The slow speed, they have an attachment for a micro needling paddle, and I see your little one there now. They have an attachment for a micro needling paddle, and you would use that on the slow speed.
I brought it.
Oh, did you show
I
them?
ask, if you're most worried about the forehead, why do you not start there with the?
Because I think it's more comfortable here for starting, and I'd rather start in a place that doesn't hurt, and then I go around the face. So now I'm doing this section over here.
Just pop it into the.
And what does that usually? Would that like go like this?
No, you would still be lifting up, so it'd be like.
Good questions.
So with this micro channel, does it take the same amount of like certification and stuff?
Does that come with a pen or the gun whenever you purchase?
Does the micro needling
So,
take the same amount of certification as what?
Micro channeling is the same amount of clearance, certification and testing.
Well, I do a full day. I do about 4 hours in a PowerPoint to tell you why it's so much better for the skin and how the cytokines work and that the stem cells, they're filtered and purified. And I have a whole PowerPoint presentation just on that. And then you get to watch a demo, which you've already seen, and then you get to do one and receive one. But if you buy a device, all the training's for free. So what I'll do is if you take the class and then later on decide you want to buy the device, I just give you free Skimblins products instead. Try to make it always good. I try to always make it right. The micro channeling class is 500. But if you buy the machine, it goes towards the machine. Or towards Skimblins products, one or the two, depending upon what I can do that month, because they have their own specials, you know?
So
But I
what's the
want-
machine in the class, the whole price on that?
The machine, actually, the trade show special, I can honor that right now, and you can do puff on the side of your mouth now too. It'll feel a little bit better. The machine trade show special, I'm not for sure. I think what it's gonna be, but if you guys are really interested, text me and I'll give you guys my number. I'll tell you what the trade show special is. And it's gonna be so much off the device usually. The other thing that they do that I think is absolutely incredible is they divide the payments into 3 for you.
Oh, no, see, that's awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
Actually, maybe afford it.
So what I do is when I'm trying to figure out what they should buy, I talk about how many clients do you have? And there's no interest. So that makes it really, really good. So you just put 1/3 down, and then in 30 days, they charge your card the second third, and then in 30 days, the last third. So it's pretty cool.
What's your profit margin on this? Do you feel like you make your money back pretty quick with the treatments on this?
Yes. Okay, so let me just tell you the regular price, but I know there's a trade show special, and plus I can always give you 500 off, always. So the regular price is $29.95. So with $500 off, just say 2,500. It's $24.95, but it's really 2,500, right? And then your treatment package with the aftercare. Kelsey, do you have those around? I think it's around 500 or 600. If you buy it and you get this, really it's going to be around 3,000, a little bit, maybe 3,200, 3,100. And then you put 1/3 down, and then in 30 days you pay the second third, in 30 days you pay the third third, but you'll get enough treatment to do 10 treatments. And if you're doing it with the home care, if you're giving them the home care, then the treatments are $350. So if you did your 10 treatments, you have $3,500. So you have enough to pay it just off of that.
Is this something that in Missouri we can, because some things we're able to do even as students unlicensed? Or is this something that you would have to be a licensed SD to perform your service?
Oh, you know what? They only sell to people, they'll sell to students, but you have to have a license to do it. They're not going to sell it to anybody else. We have a lot of doctors doing this. We have a lot of permanent makeup. They do it because they're with needles. But anyway, sorry, you guys, with talking too, I'm getting a little bit
Sorry, I just want to see how close you're going to the,
as close as
under
I
the
can
eye.
get. Yep.
so you're pulling down the skin and here. I love that.
And then sometimes they pull the skin up to get closer underneath of here.
Okay. Oh, so you're just going right next to the eye too.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And let me think, there was another question that you guys asked. I can't remember what it was. They do have home care product too, but the stem cell serum, because this is what they're using in science and everything else. And oh, I know the exciting one I wanted to tell you is that they've discovered that you don't have to go as deep anymore. When you create these little injuries and you put the stem cell serums in there, they travel all the way down and make things happen without having to have the injury. Isn't that cool?
It's crazy how she's not even like that pink or anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see what she's feeling.
It's amazing. 'Cause, like my
Because of the-
yesterday walked out like right.
Because, yeah, and because of the numbing, she's not getting as pink either.
Numbing cream seems to work really
So
good.
you said you're doing 2 passes.
Yeah, I kind of forget. I do usually one pass one way and one pass the other way. If you do extra, it's not going to hurt them. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is the neck area because I'd save the mouth for last. Why would you think I would save the mouth for last? Because what?
It gets like dirtier. You don't want to go over another part if you like spit and
Yeah, or what if they have like a cold sore? You know, it's it's the very last thing that I
Do
do.
you go over like acne and things like that with it?
No.
So that's something
You do not want to spread the acne. You can see people all over Google doing that. I won't do it.
So you just acne?
Yeah, I would go around it. I like to heal acne first, and I think that a lot of times people are missing the boat on how to heal acne. You have to have something that's going to kill the bacteria or shut down the sebum. Shutting down the sebum is Accutane, but it also shuts down everything. So I think it's good for a last resort. But I like benzoyl peroxide. I like oxygen serum. I like LED light. I like blue light. I like tea tree. There's a lot of things out there, but a lot of people are they're still having breakouts, but they haven't killed the bacteria. You know what I mean? And I like to work the neck because, okay, we're estheticians. Our necks are going to be bent over a lot.
yeah. Do you see those?
Yep, I'm working them, girl. And it's the tech neck too. If we really need to not be looking down at our phones so much. It's not a really natural thing for our neck. Everybody's looking at their neck now.
Yep.
And you guys don't go over this. This really hurts and feels weird, but you can stretch that skin out and go on either side, okay?
I do have another question.
Sure.
So like with your facial, how much does it cost you? I know you said you charge like $350 for this. How much does it cost you to perform that facial?
Well, the human growth factor is 25 and the tip is 25. And then I usually use a mask as well. That's $8. I have everything written down for you guys that are really interested.
Yeah.
Does everybody in the class want the information? Okay, we'll email it to you and we'll even email you the PowerPoint that Kelsey created. Okay, Kelsey? We'll send you guys everything and all the pricing, and it has all the cost per treatment on it too.
gosh.
So that roller that you
I can't keep it all in my head, you know?
Right, yeah.
How could you?
So that roller that you use, do you use a thing full of that for one person?
Yes, and you want to keep enough in the end to use it. It's so funny because all the guys are like, okay, and then when you get done, go ahead and give this to your clients so that they can take it with them and have them use it every 10 minutes. And I'm like, I barely have enough, but I do the neck and the face together. Some people just do the face and they charge for the neck and the chest. I can't not do the neck because everybody needs it. So I factor the neck into my treatment, but the neck is almost like another face as far as when we go out of it.
What's the effectiveness on other body parts? Like stretch.
You know what? There's a hair growth serum that goes with it too. And I keep wanting to do it on the brows, but I haven't gotten there, you guys. And
I've volunteered to distribute my brows.
oh my gosh. And then there's people that are doing above the knees for knee sagging, and there's people that have done stretch marks. Take a guess. What size needle do you think you would do for stretch marks?
No.
Good. Yes, why would it be 0.25?
Um,
That's really good. That's exactly right. But people usually think, oh, you need 1.0. It's the stretch mark skinny. The skin has been stretched. It's very, very, very thin skin. But you get a huge improvement. But when we send you the pictures, I want you to look at the improvement and then cover up the before picture and just look at the after picture. Because this is what I thought, this is something I did wrong sometimes. I didn't take before and after pictures and the client comes back and say, well, I still have pigmentation. Well, I still have this, I still have this. Yeah, but it's so much better. That's why you guys want to take your before and after pictures and you don't want them to think that they're not going to have anything when you're done. It's going to be an improvement, a big improvement. But cover up. Did we bring any of the posters, Kelsey? Will you do that trick that I showed you on that? So when I was a beginning esthetician in Missouri, actually, and I was out in California, but we didn't have all these cool things back then. Someone said that they didn't get any results, and I had to agree with them because I didn't have a before picture, you know. So the passion is always for your before picture so you can show them. And there's no excuse now because you all have cell phones, cameras.
I like the idea of just having the after and covering up the before and then showing the
I
difference.
want you to see. Kelsey's going to come around and show you that. Carrie, do we have another one? You could do it too.
Maybe we
Where in
can.
California are you from? Right here.
Oh, right in the camera. That's perfect. Kelsey, go ahead and show them.
Where is it?
Where in California are you from?
Okay,
Well,
so
I
there's the before.
Do you guys see it now?
Uh-huh.
So you can see, it's kind of hard to see on the screen, but she has a lot of fine lines and wrinkles on the top.
Hyperpigmentation too.
Yeah, and then the bottom one is acne, scarring with hyperpigmentation. And then you can see the definite improvement.
How many treatments was that?
We have it in the notes.
Yeah,
and
we have it
everything
as-
too. But now look at just the after and show them that there still is stuff there. There's still hyperpigmentation. There's still, like, if she comes in and says, well, I still have lines and wrinkles and I still have hyperpigmentation. She does, doesn't she? But isn't it significantly better?
Yes.
Do you see how important the before and after pictures are?
Do you 100% think that this is like more effective than microneedling?
I do. I have a microneedling pen too. I have the Derma pen. I was one of the first people to get that. I was thinking about repping for them. And it's kind of a neat one. Okay, go ahead and hide your lips so I can do this area really good. But what happened is the company in Utah that had the original contract with a company from Australia, a company in Utah, they trademarked it or something for here. And so there's all these law proceedings and I was just like, I don't want to do with anything with this, right? And then I saw this literally at a trade show and it intrigued me. And I had a treatment right there at the booth and I was hooked. Because there's no downtime and cells are small. The things that are happening is happening at a cellular level.
And how frequently, because microneedling obviously you wait a month, but how frequently could you do a treatment like this since it feels?
On the 0.25, you could do every 2 weeks. On the 0.5, you have to do once a month. Now, as you get older, the skin turns over faster. You can speed up your treatments a little bit because you kind of have to maintain the results for the older people. They need more motivation. Their skin needs more motivation. They're usually hard workers. Just their skin needs more motivation. I say that because I call the stem cells and the cytokines motivators because they go in there and they make everything work better and act better. They're the bosses.
Do you have to have your license before you can do the Dermaplane Pro class?
They will let you take the class as long as you're within 2 months of graduating. They won't let you take it before that. Okay, now I'm gonna.
How long
do
do you
this.
wait after receiving like an injection or
The safest thing is 2 weeks. You don't want to move anything around. And if they are not happy with the way the filler or the Botox looks, because then you're going to be brought into part of the unhappy. You know what I mean? So they have to be satisfied with the results they got. And you want to wait at least 2 weeks so then nothing should move around. So it stays in the place where it's supposed to be. I had a girl last night or this morning. I don't even remember. I saw it this morning. She has a client. She's from Pennsylvania. And she got a bad brow. I don't know if it's permanent makeup. I don't know if it's derm or the microblading. I don't know what it was. But my client is asking me, what can she do for it? And I am like, nothing. You send her to somebody that's better. She had, what did they use to take it out? I can't remember what they used to take it out. I said, send someone that is really, really, really experienced and trained in removing pigment from the skin. But don't you dare try to do anything at this point. You know what I mean, you guys?
Because it's always gonna make it worse. It's just.
Oh, and then you're dragged into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fine before she touched it. Yeah. How did that feel? Okay.
Fine, yeah. That one I felt a tiny bit
And
more.
you guys can see where I worked on her up here now. You can see a little bit of pink up there.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit.
How does your skin feel?
It feels fine. I really don't feel anything right now.
Does it
I'm
feel
still pretty
tighter?
numb. Yeah, it does feel tighter.
It feels tighter, cleaner?
What are the contraindications for this procedure?
Hardly any. Basically, they can't have an autoimmune disease and they can't be pregnant or nursing. And by autoimmune, if they can't, I got a little,
And bleeding disorders.
yeah, bleeding disorders. That's exactly. And I was just gonna say, I got a
Rosacea
little-
isn't a contraindication.
rosacea, I would be very, very, very careful. As long as it's under control, I would treat it. Rosacea is a weird one because they don't know what causes it.
Mhm.
So, and it's kind of weird. They can use some products and then all of a sudden not be able to use them anymore. Oils and alcohol seem to be a problem for rosacea, but not always. Rosacea is everything I say is, but not always.
They actually have a before and after of a fine
That's just-
rosacea.
You know what that was from? That was just from using their home care products. No treatments.
Wow.
Just the home care products alone helped that guy.
So then just rosacea, what would be other like contraindications for this?
I already said them all.
Oh, okay. just
No,
that.
rosacea, actually, if it's under control, I would definitely do it.
She said autoimmune disease, pregnant, nursing, bleeding disorders.
Thank you.
Diabetes and cancer as well.
Any autoimmune, diabetes and cancer would be in there, like even the one that your skin is really stiff and tough, you wouldn't want to do that one. I forget what it's called right now, or any bleeding disorders. We have consent form that gives you all that too. But pretty much, I mean, every skin color, every skin type, every age. She said she still feels a little bit numb.
Mhm.
But her skin definitely feels tight. You can see a little bit of pink around there too. I don't want to leave any serum left. And so what I'll usually do is take this off at the end. And usually the lips are the last thing that I do. I don't even have any left, do I? Doggone, nothing. But we did get
Since
your
your
lips.
needle depth is not high, it's safe for people who are prone to hyperpigmentation then.
Definitely. And remember, you don't have to go deep to get results. That's the coolest, best news for estheticians ever. Someone asked, could we use it? Okay, so if you call State Board and ask them that they can use it, does anybody know what they're going to tell you? I do.
Read the laws.
Yes, who said that? You're 100% right. Yeah. That's what they tell you. And then they'll say, and if you can't understand it, then you need to hire an attorney. And I'm like, come on, you guys, you can understand it. It says the esthetician can use mechanical apparatuses and appliances to do all these things to the skin. It says that we can do and beautify using apparatuses and appliances. And it also says that areas that we can work. And guess what? We can work on the scalp. We can work on the torso. We can work. Read your scope. We are so lucky. Says we can't use nothing over 10% phenol. Who cares? Nobody uses it anyways. And it says that we can't do an electric needle with our license. That's about it. Agree?
Say that again.
It says we can't use over 10% phenol, and it says that we can't do electrolysis. That's about all.
Has everybody signed the sign-in sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
Kelsey will send you guys information. She'll send you the PowerPoint.
Thank you.
She'll send you the treatment packages. She'll send you the device. You can take 500 off of it. If you want to buy it this weekend, let me know because there might be a little bit more off this weekend.
So that'll come with the class too. If we buy the device now, we can do it like we can get the trade show.
Or cat.
It's the class.
Well, if
Or
you
just
buy the
device.
device, you come to the class for free.
Oh, okay.
Because I need to train you. I need to, train you and you get to get a treatment and give a treatment, which I charge 300. It doesn't include the home care. So with the home care, it's 350. And so, I mean, you're almost there, you know what I mean? And then our mask, our clear mask.
Do you have to be like do you have to be close to graduating to take your class?
No, ProCell doesn't have that requirement. Just Dermaplane Pro does.
And that's within 2 months of graduating
Dermaplane Pro, yeah.
for dermaplanes, yeah.
So what is this mask that you're gonna use?
What is this? Oh, I'm gonna tell you all about this. Wait till you see this mask. This is my favorite mask in the whole wide world. I don't like to tear it because sometimes even though they have tear lines, it doesn't tear straight. And what do you think?
So cool, yeah.
Can you guys go ahead and look at, I don't know, if you guys look at the class, can you see her more pink on the class than you can in the camera?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but even then, she's still, I mean,
She's so
Yeah,
Compared
much
to what
better
you're
than
used to,
microneedling.
it's, yeah. But how does your skin feel?
That just feels tight.
she looks very like tight, plump.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now we're even gonna do more. Now, what we're gonna do, glowing skin, yeah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this infusion mask, and of course, I don't like to waste anything. Number 5 of 8 kids, no, I'm just kidding, but I work hard for my money, right? So what I'm gonna do is any extra serum that falls out of the mask, I'm gonna put in here. This is one of my very favorite things to do. I can pour it back in the serum. The mask will absorb all of this. It just kind of falls out when it's sitting in the package. And I might put some of it back in, but what I love to do, watch this. Guys, can you guys see this? Okay. How does that feel?
Amazing.
I feel like I'm pampering my clients. Plus, I literally feel like it just fills in, goes right into all those little micro channels, and it's really soothing. It's a little cooling right now.
Mhm.
Have you learned that thing?
What's the name of this mask?
This is our crystal infusion mask. It's a clear mask. So after it's a Skin Blends product. Yep. I know you.
Yes, you.
I do know you. It was like, and then and underneath of the clear mask, the lights I can put on top of. Now, a lot of times at Skin Blends, I will use the Light Wave. I like their light, and I do rep for them as well. But when I travel, or if somebody's in a hurry, I use the LED light panel called Illuminate, and I rep for them as well. And that one's $1,800 one. And I have one client in
What was it called? again?
Washington, Illuminate.
Illuminate.
And I have one client in Washington. She uses it after every single waxing that she does. She said it eliminates people that have problems with breakouts after waxing, just 5 minutes, and she charges extra for it, but they always want it. At Skin Blends, we have a full body LED and infrared light panel, full body. It's pretty awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Is it just red and blue, or do you have other colors with it that you use?
I have red and infrared on the full body. The most clinical studies have been done on red and blue. I've read all the yellow ones. Most of those were done by Dr. McDaniel, and he has an interest in gentle waves that produces most of the yellow ones. So I try just to stick with the red and the blue, and I like to have things that have the clinical study space behind it. The other thing is the red and the red LED light. They're showing it helps with the brain. Depression and brain and all of that now too, that's kind of the new stuff they've been emailing me, but of course it helps with everything. Doesn't that look amazing? Now, anything that I still have left, I could keep going and infuse it, but I can also put it in the mask and infuse it on her that way. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Are you guys jealous of her?
Yes. Yeah, you should be.
I am too, actually. Seems like we never have time for me, huh, you guys? Again, I have to get every little bit out of it. But I want it all in her skin.
How much does this mask cost?
$8.
Really?
Yeah. And as a professional, it's kind of neat because it's kind of hard to do yourself, and you kind of like ones that are kind of hard for them to do themselves, so you can do them for them instead.
Right.
They can do it themselves. They don't need you.
Okay, so you're pouring it in that.
Oh, cool.
Isn't
Isn't
Sorry,
that
I'm, like,
cool?
watching
No, no,
it.
no. You're doing just fine.
So like your all in is about $60 for this facial, and then you charge about $300.
It's gonna be in the info she sends us.
Yeah, I think she added it up about right though. Yeah. I sure do. And they love it. I'm just waiting a little bit for it to absorb, but all of that will absorb into this mask, and then it will all go where? In her skin. How does that feel?
Oh, really cool.
Really cool, huh? Soothing. I'm gonna have you
Oh,
bring
yeah,
your
so
chin down just a little bit, not too much. I just didn't want anything to roll into your eyes. She was so helpful. She had her chin up the whole time. Positive gal here.
I'm
We
on
have
camera.
no-
I don't need my double chin to show.
Oh. Chin, you're crazy. And then, yeah, she doesn't. But, and then we have goggles and then we have, let's see, I told you it would all absorb in. Remember how I poured it into that mask?
Yeah.
Nope, it's all in the mask.
Is it like more jelly or like
Yeah, what
plastic feeling?
material is the mask made out of?
You know what? I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's biodegradable, like it won't do the oceans or the land or anything. It just dissolves eventually. So it's super cool. Okay, do we have goggles? And, oh, she's got the light panel ready for me.
So cool. It felt like a bubbly kind of like really thick when she put it on, but it's it's very slimy. It was so cool and soothing when she put it on the goggles on.
And we have to try not, we want her to talk, but afterwards, only because if she talks now, the mask will come off.
It's starting to.
Let me pull it up just for 1 second. It's almost impossible with talking. So there you go. Hope I didn't get any nails on you.
Oh,
hopefully.
you're quiet now. No, you're fine.
Oh, anyone watching the time? I'm not sure when we started and when we did.
It's 3:36.
3:36 and we came
we
here
have-
at 2, so about an hour and a half with all the talking and everything.
Which setting do we?
I'm super bummed. I think a lot of us have 4 o'clock appointments, so we're all.
Oh, good. Good. So on this one, she's got it. Can you guys see how?
setting.
That's the lowest setting right there. And so if she has it on full setting, it takes 5 minutes to get the recommended numbers of joules of light energy. So light is measured by joules. And don't ask me to explain it because nobody's been able to explain it to me. But joules of light energy takes 5 minutes to get the required number that you need to make positive changes in your skin. So is that on the highest one now or just the lowest? I just want to show them, but I'll put it back down. Okay, ready? See how high it goes? It's by far stronger than the LED, light wave and everything. Now, the LED light is not good for your pupils, but it's actually healthy. So if a little bit gets in the rest of your eye, it's not bad. Can you feel that intensity more?
Oh, yeah, it's super bright.
Okay, so we'll turn it down about halfway. The reason I wanted to turn it down a little bit because I could leave it on I can leave it on the 5 minutes and then we'll take it off after 5 if you want to time that. Carrie, do you have a timer going? Okay, perfect. And then we can just leave the mask on a little bit longer. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
I forget what the red light is for again.
Red light does so many things. It helps calm the skin, helps heal the skin, helps stimulate collagen. They say it helps, like full body, they say that it helps with hair growth. Have you seen people wearing the hats with the red lights and everything? And full body, they say that it helps with fertility. A muscle recovery full body, but it's just so good for the skin. It's started out from NASA. I remember that too. But if you guys want to be bored, do Google Scholar and do LED light therapy. There's been so many proven studies about how good this is for the skin. And the blue light kills the bacteria for acne.
Sorry, I'm
So
gonna move
the blue
this a
is
little,
kind of good
Michelle.
too. But it doesn't, the blue light doesn't work on all acne. It works on about half of acne. So if you've had blue light, if you've had acne and the blue light didn't work on you, it might not be for your acne. But about half of the people with acne, the blue light will help. But the LED helps everybody because it's healing.
So if you had an acne, would you do red and blue on them after this treatment? Or would you just sort of 5 minutes of red and then 5 minutes of blue or?
You know what? You could do 5 minutes of red and 5 minutes of blue. And the same company that sells this panel, they have a blue light as well, and they have a green light.
That panel is just a red one.
This one
It
is
doesn't
just the red
change.
one.
What is the brand of that one?
This one's called the Illuminate, but we sell it at Skimblins. We have them in stock. Yeah,
You know the price of them?
1,800. Now, if you, but the, oh yeah, here it is. You can pass it around. They can take a picture if they want to. It's 1,800, but with the 1,800, it's a really light black, white cord, and it only is the 5 minute setting. To get the adjustable setting, it's another 200. But you can just do 5 minutes and just use the one.